All right, I'd like to do an explanation for how to do this transformation assignment here, 9-4. And so let's just kind of go over it. Your assignment is to transform an object in a variety of ways and plot all the points clearly. All the points clearly. For full credit, you will plot the shape as prescribed with pencil. Then you will perform and plot several transformations. Use colored pencils or crayons or markers or whatever you have at home to code which transformation is which. Perform these translations in any order. So it doesn't need to be in this order, but it can be if you want. So let's start with number 1. So A is 9, 3. So I find 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 3, 1, 2, 3. There's A. And I do that for all of these. So B is 13, 12. And some students you might want to write 1, 2, 3, like label the units here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You might want to do that. Maybe next year I'll do that for you. Wouldn't that be nice? Now, you can decide if this is the y-axis or the x-axis. I've labeled them, but you can decide which one is which. It's up to you if you want to do it this way or this way. So I'm going to label all those points, although 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. And that will be my first position. Now, when you want to do the next part of this, which is do a transformation, let's say we're going to do a translation indicating using a vector. So we're going to do this one here. So you're going to fill in, you do a translation. And then you need to indicate your vector. So I'm going to say, I'm going to move this thing 2 to the right and 4 down. So you need to make sure you write that here. And then my points would be, if I go 2 to the right, then my point would be 11, and then negative 7 for my A prime. And my B would be 2 to the right, so that'd be 15, and then 4 down, so it'd be negative 16. All right, now I would do that for all of those points. So that's when I did the translation. Now, if I wanted to do a rotation of 90 degrees or more, and I would just do this around the origin, then I say, okay, I'm going to do rotation now. Rotation. And I'll just say I'm going to do 180 degrees. So you need to write what the degree measure you're doing the rotation. And then I would do that. So 180 degrees, that means I just change my point from negative to positive or positive to negative. And then my point here, negative 15, positive 16. So I'm going to do the same work for all of these points, all 4 points, right? I'm just doing this as an example. I'm just doing 2 points as an example. And you're doing this transformation on the previous transformation. So you're not just doing the same transformation, a different transformation on this same pre-image. This becomes the new pre-image for this one. This is the image. Then for this one, you do the transformation from the 3rd position. Now we're in the 4th position. I've done a rotation. I've done a translation, a reflection, not on the x-axis or the y-axis. Name that line. So I'm going to do a reflection. And then I'm going to name the line. So the line I'm going to do is x equals, let's say x equals 5. And so when I find x equals 5, on the other here I find x equals 5, so that would be right here. And I'd take my shape, I'd reflect it across x equals 5, and I'd put my new points right here. And so that means my y value is going to stay the same, which is going to be 7. My x value, y equals, oh, I'm going to have a different x value. Okay, I'm not going to, let's see, can I figure that out? 15, that's going to be a huge x value. I should have done y equals 5 or something like that. All right, but you get the idea. You put the new points here, and then I have a reflection on the x or y axis. So you've got 2 reflections to do here. So then I do a reflection on the x or y axis. So I just say x axis. And so I'll do a reflection on the x axis. And so here is what you're going to be graded on. Before you do that, I want you to make sure that you see this color code here. With pencil, you're transferring, use colored pencils or crayons or markers or whatever. So I'm going to say second position is going to be green. So I find my shape that's in second position and I color that green, whatever that is, right? And then my third position is going to be red. And so I find wherever I put my third position one, and that one's going to be red. And then my next one is going to be purple. Oh no, I ran out of colored pencils, but I do have crayons. So I have a crayon here that's yellow. Ooh, gosh, that crayon gave me. All right, and then wherever my fourth position is, I color that one yellow. This is a bad crayon. All right, and then find a marker, or even, you know, if you need to use a pencil for one of these. My fifth position, wherever that is, I color that one with the pencil. And so here's your grade. Reflection across the axis. So reflection across a line that is not the x or y axis. Name that line, right? It should all be right in here. A translation, rotation, data chart filled out correctly. This is your data chart. It needs to be filled out correctly. And the shape plotted correctly. And so the shape should not change in size or shape. It should always be the same. It's just going to be moved and rotated. Rigid transformations. So it should be only moved and rotated and flipped, right? The shape itself should not change at all, besides just being moved and flipped and rotated. It shouldn't get bigger or smaller, and it shouldn't change the shape. Okay, so I'd ask for any questions, but you know, here we are. But you can email me, right? So that you should be all set for 9-4. This is your activity to do. You also have 9-4 homework to do as well. All right, good luck.